Hello, alola, and aloha. Welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. I am joined today by the ever-loving, ever-good-looking Saif. How you going, big fella?
Yeah, I'm going okay. I had like this whole intro set up and I've completely forgotten it, so I'm just going to put myself on the spot now by saying this.
That's a weird thing to do. You met like royalty today. You're probably just still a bit starstruck. How you doing?
Yeah, I wish I met them, but no, I didn't. I was locked to my floor. And by my floor, I mean my bedroom, because my work advised us not to come in since it was going to be a hassle.
Yeah, they were just doing you a favor. They was keeping your riz in check.
Yeah, they were just like, look, there's going to be so much security there. It's better off you just stay home.
Yeah, and you're an intimidating guy. You're like what? You benched like 150 kilos.
Oh yeah, that's being humble about it. More like 200.
I was trying to be a bit more humble, but yeah, like you've got the big guns, and they would have like 2 tickets to the gun show, so that's probably not very safe. They're security guards. You just be very intimidating. So you just play for the best. Yeah, you did him a favor. Good on you. Yeah.
I'm doing this country a service.
Our country and their country. It'd be too powerful. But yeah, now that we've just got the pointless preamble, what's been going on? Any funny tech stories? Eaten 20 boxes of Krispy Kreme lately?
No, not this week, unfortunately. That Krispy Kreme one does sound interesting. I might actually just dip out of the podcast for a little bit and go to the 7-Eleven down the street.
Ooh, what, a whole box of cookies and cream?
No, I'm gonna go just glazed.
A whole box?
Like 3 of them.
You know what? You're right, Seth. We should have a third section of the podcast, and it should be Krispy Kreme ASMR.
You're right. We redid the Twisties ASMR.
Twisties are crunchy, and nobody likes Twisties. Everybody likes Krispy Kreme. It'd just probably be a lot of like heavy breathing from me because I'm eating them too fast and I'm forgetting to breathe.
And you're forgetting you're on a date.
I didn't forget. Man, I wonder what she's doing at the moment. Like, she's probably got her own podcast at the moment.
I'm talking about that exact same story.
Yeah. This one guy had a whole box of Krispy Kremes for himself on a date. And then he bought another 12 Krispy Kremes, and he said it for his family, but I know.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking grim.
No one buys 12 Krispy Kremes for their family. They eat it in the car on the way back.
Num. God, fucking grim. Man. You know what? Maybe I do want. No, I'm in a long-term relationship. Girlfriend can't leave me. What's she gonna do? Turn down the lease? We've still got like 8 more months left, and she can't eat gluten, so all the Krispy Kremes are mine. I don't know. This definitely seems like an act of God. Hang on, let me cook. But anyway, enough about the best food on the entire planet. Are we doing do you have something ready for a Steam Play account check, or is it kind of a bit awkward with me just getting every number wrong? There's no competition in it.
Yeah, might wait till Patrick comes back on that one, so there's actually some competition on it.
Actually, some competition. Yeah, no, that's true. I fucking hate it. I can't guess. Totally. Yeah. And dumb prices, right rules. Always wrong. But I wanted to give a bit of an update on my Pokemon circuit. As everybody's well aware, I'm well on my way to playing the Pokemans. But I went to 2, or technically 3 tournaments last weekend. There was like one in the morning and one in the afternoon on Saturday. And then there was and both of those events were like best of 1s, which is a bit unfortunate because most Pokemon events are best of 3s. And then one on Sunday, which is like 40 minutes away from my house. And I'm like, oh, it's such a drive. But whatever. Where. Yeah, that was best of 3. Did not too bad in both of them. Like, I think the one on Saturday had like 25 people, and I came like 11th and 13th. 13th and 11th, I did much better in the second one. On Sunday, I came like 6. So 6 out of 15. I just fucking missed out. Oh,
still in the top 50% though.
Yeah, it's really good. And it was literally like the last match, because I was on 2 wins, 1 loss, and I was up against this guy, and it was like whoever wins pretty much guaranteed top 4, and they're only doing top 4. They weren't doing top 8. But like it literally came down to because I'm running a Trick Room team, and my Dusclops runs Will-O-Wisp, and if Will-O-Wisp it missed twice in a row, and if it had hit once, I most likely would have won. But I hate RNG so much. I hate it. But no, it's going good. I'm like really impressed with my results. I'm definitely getting better. And there's one on Friday, which probably won't do well because it starts at like 6:30, and depending on how many people go, like it might not finish until like midnight. And after like 9:30 p.m., that's Stevie's bedtime. It's gonna be pretty hard.
I'm sure you can stay up. It's Pokemon. You'll manage.
I just get like really nervous. And then like for example, like on the Sunday, like I was like very, very nervous in my first game. And then like when the match is over, I sort of just sigh, like I take a breath, just do a big sigh. Then I just feel really exhausted. And then I do the next match and I'm nervous again. So I like finish the tournaments and I'm just fucking exhausted. Maybe it's just because I'm always thinking, always plotting 20 moves ahead. But yeah, that's the Pokemon check. But then apart from that, round the lounge, what have you been playing, Saif? Any niche games that have come out that no one's heard about?
Just this little game called Spider-Man 2. It's by this small indie company known as Marvel, Sony, and Insomniac Games all teaming up together. It's not that big of a deal, honestly.
Well, let's not talk about that then. And also as well on the weekend, after my Pokemon victories, I decided to finish off Starfield as well. So I've got some closing thoughts on that. But talk us about this man spider. I don't know why they'd make a second game. I haven't even heard of the first game, but yeah. Is it any good?
It's even weird because this one's called number 2, but this is the third game.
Mortal Kombat moment.
Right, Kingdom Hearts number 2.
Oh, there's 14,000 Kingdom Hearts games. Anyway.
Yeah, and the 15,000th was Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, true. But yeah, Spider-Man 2. I've seen a shit ton of it online, but I want to hear about it, the word from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, so I'm 40% of the way through the game now.
Hang on, so how do you know you're 40%? Does it give you a percentage tracker or are you guessing?
It gives you a percentage tracker. Whenever you look at a map or when you're loading your game, it tells you the percentage. It even tells you how many, if you look at the tab, it tells you how many story missions are in the game and how many you've done. In terms of story missions, I'm like 13 out of 31, I think it is, 31 or 32.
How do you feel about that? That seems a bit, I don't know, I don't really seem impressed about that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into. Like, I've been playing for about a day and a half total. I don't have the hour numbers in front of me. But no, I've put a decent amount of time into the game already. 40% should feel good, but it does, I'm enjoying the game so much that it feels like I want more. Like, this still feels pretty meaty in what's there. That 13 story missions I've done has been spread out pretty well because I've been doing all the side stuff at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever any side missions collectibles unlock, I just go and hardline that before going on to the next story mission. So it's been spreading things out pretty well. And yeah, just seeing that number is like, wow, it's a decent chunk, but this game is so much as like so good that I wish there was more. It's like, I can't get enough of this cake. I wish there was a second cake.
Well, are you a bit worried? Well, actually, you know what? No, this is still like a negative thing, but like, walk me through it. Like, so Spider-Man came out like, what, 5 years ago? I thought like I had a great time with it.
Yeah, and then Miles Morales came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, and that was like a weird, not a DLC, but sort of an expansion, like standalone expansion type of thing.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling it? You obviously love it, but why do you love it?
It's taken all of the things that work from the first game and Miles Morales and just made them better. Something I really appreciate is that a lot of the things that were like upgrades for the first game are just in your arsenal from the beginning of this game.
Okay, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So it's not all of them, but you're like working from like having 75% of your toolkit from the last game and then building up from that to go back over 100% of the last game.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I fucking hate starting from zero again.
Yeah, and they've added a lot of cool new things to both the combat and the traversal. So for combat, something I wasn't expecting, but they've added is that now you have a guard and a parry mechanic. In the first game, you just have the circle dodge. So like whenever your spider senses went off, if it was in the white territory, you'd still dodge the attack, but you didn't get anything out of it. But if it was red, then you'd do a perfect dodge and you'd open up the enemy, like you'd web them in the face to make them vulnerable or something along those lines. In this game, you still have those options, but now you also have like hold L1 to guard. If you do it during the white splash of the spider sense, then you'll just take reduced damage. But if you do it during the red segments, you would take no damage, and you'll also open up the enemy to do massive damage onto them. And that's the new way you deal with like the big brute enemies that you had to like web up and just play around in the last game. So they've made like the bigger, more brute enemies more fun to fight against now as well. And then there's other stuff like when you web up an enemy, like you're holding down triangle on them, you can use the triggers to like yank them left or right, or do both triggers at the same time, and you'll like whip them up into the air and then throw them back down. There's more things to do in aerial combat now, more ways to juggle enemies. They've just really expanded the combat in ways that make it a lot more fun.
Is there a lot of sections for the combat? Like, there was hang on, what am I trying to say here? Is there a reason for the combat? Like, is it, because I remember that a bit of the problem with the first one was it sort of just gave you stuff for the sake of giving you stuff. Like, there was a lot of those dumb Ubisoft towers. Oh, there's a stronghold here. You've got to clear all the enemies out of it. Like, is it giving you like? And I didn't mind those, but I got to a point where I was sort of like, oh, I'm sick of it. Is there more of a side quest type of thing here going on?
There's a mix of them. There's still side quests that do those. There's still some bases, but there's less of them as far as I can tell. Story missions have more enemy encounters now, and the crimes aren't mandatory anymore. They give you a lot of EXP payout and more points towards your region percentage. So you're incentivized to do them without being like told, you have to do these. So that gives you more chances to engage with the combat. Some of the collectibles, like, just very, very, very minor spoilers. I guess I'll try and frame this in a way that I don't give anything away. The intro mission, you fight one of Spider-Man's iconic villains, won't say who. They start during that mission, they start bringing in their own goons. After that mission, you unlock a side story, like, collectible challenge where there's collectibles scattered all over the map for you to go and collect tied to that enemy. And whenever you get to them, their goons are around protecting it. So that gives you just more time to engage with the combat. And you're incentivized to do that because doing those collectibles finishes off that character storyline, and you find out the backstory of why they were going on a rampage in the first story mission.
Ah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so they tie things together really well like that.
And how is the story? I've heard very good things, but as in, hang on. So what is the... I know I'm very conscious that I don't want this to go into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But like, how is the story? Like, from the trailers and stuff, I have seen that there is a couple of enemies that do come and make their appearance, and there is something to do with Venom, but I'm not really sure who the Venom character is. How are you finding it?
I'm enjoying it. The rough part is I'm still in setup. So from marketing campaign, I'll say, I know Kraven exists. I haven't done a mission yet where I've come face to face with him. I've just been dealing with his goons and finding out like what he's up to, sort of thing. I haven't actually.
So you know he exists. You just don't. For a second I thought you were saying that like you haven't even he hasn't been mentioned yet. Okay, no, I'm with you now.
No, I know he exists. I know what he's planning in New York. I haven't come face to face with him or done any encounters with him. I haven't even come across Kurt Connors, but he hasn't become the Lizard yet, so I haven't even done that mission that they showed off at that Sony State of Play earlier this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still pretty early.
Yeah, that's actually he's sort of still up in the setup kind of area.
Yeah, I'm guessing like the second half or the final third of the game is where it starts getting really chunky, like the original game did. Like it had the first few missions in it were like very short, and you got through them quickly. And then as things started escalating, the missions got longer, more involved, and more cutscenes. So it lengthened out the game in the back half.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I like that. And how does the interaction with Miles work? Like the way that I pictured in my head, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's sort of like a Grand Theft Auto 5 type of switch out. Like, did you play Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah, I did. And yeah, that's there. They also hand off after certain story sections. So like you'll probably do like 3 missions as Peter, and then it's like, okay, this is now the next couple of chapters are going to be Miles' story, but you're not locked to being Miles in the open world stuff. You're still you can still switch back to Peter using the pause menu whenever you want. And there's other small interaction things, like I mentioned the crimes before. randomly throughout the city, you might come across like a crime where you have to beat up some enemies, and the Spider-Man you're not playing as will be already there fighting them. So you just help each other out to take care of the crime, and they've got all these like custom combo ender finishes and like your special one-hit kill finishes that make them tag team together, and those are really cool to do. Like what Arkham Knights did when you could team up with like Nightwing and Robin.
I've never played Arkham Knights, but I do want to.
Okay, yeah. It's just like
that's actually really cool.
They'll just be AI with you, and when you activate a finisher, it'll activate like a double team finisher instead of your normal one.
It's actually really cool that there's like you go to a crime scene, it's like, oh hey, my best friend's already there. I really appreciate that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the loading is basically instant, so you can switch between the two characters, and it's not like that GTA 5 thing where it's like really slowly transitioning out, showing you the map, and then slowly transitioning back in. This is just like, oh yep, you've held down the button for about 3 seconds, you'll snap the other Spider-Man now.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. That is good to hear.
They spawn in the same district you're in, like not the exact same spots, but like let's say you're in Harlem as Miles, and then you switch to Peter, he'll spawn like on the other side of Harlem.
Okay, so you're not far away, but at the same time, like you're in a different area. Okay, so it's not just a character flip. That's pretty cool, actually, I guess.
Yeah. And most of the differences between them is just kind of aesthetic things. Their special moves act differently, but are kind of the same in a sense. Like, how do I phrase this? Like L1 and X with both of them will do a launcher attack. L1 and circle with Miles does like a ground pound thing where it's like spread out across multiple enemies. Where with Peter instead, it's still like it's focused on doing multiple enemies, but he like all of his robotic spider legs web up enemies and then zap them. So it's like similar function, but different animation to it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But is there, what am I trying to say here? Does it feel like you're definitely playing a different character?
Yeah. Like through both animations and like how their movesets work, they do feel different, even though like button presses are like same functions. Yeah,
it's the same button press, just different things. Okay, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, they do really well to differentiate them.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you've got like two semi-similar characters that do semi-similar things and not to make them just reskins.
Yeah.
But no, it's good that they put a lot of detail into that.
And they've still got a shit ton of costumes in the game, and they've gone that extra step and gone, we've got all these costumes, and if you can also buy alternate colors for them.
Oh, okay.
There's a few costumes that are like that don't have that, like the movie costumes don't have alternate colors to them, but any from like comics or game ones, they're like, yeah, so here's your like normal red and blue for Spider-Man, but spend a few points and you get like a white and gold one or a black and purple one, and both characters have like 4 different colors per costume for the ones that support them.
Okay, no, that's pretty cool. Do any of the suits do anything differently, or are they just like cosmetic?
No, that's the one thing I was going to get into. So something like I mentioned before to you, I had one complaint. It wasn't just going to be constant dick sucking on this game. My one complaint is that like in Spider-Man 2018 and in Miles Morales, something I really liked was like whenever you unlocked a costume, you also unlocked a super move with them. The one that instantly comes to mind for me because I loved it a lot was when you get the Spider-Punk skin in the 2018 game, you unlocked an attack that Peter would jump up in the air with a guitar and then slam it down and it would just do like this big AoE shockwave attack. They don't have anything like that in this game. They don't have any of those suit-specific moves anymore.
I wonder why.
I think it's because of all the other things they've included to combat that they felt like they didn't need them, or they were like polishing combat too much that they didn't have time to do like a unique thing for every costume. And I get it. So it's not like game breaking to me, but it is a little disappointing.
Like, how many costumes are there? Do you even know that answer just yet?
I don't know an exact number, but there's quite a few of them. It's not every costume from the last game and more. They've cut some. There are still quite a lot of them.
Ah, interesting. So they've taken some out, and I guess with the alternate colors aren't new suits.
They're not.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, I guess that's actually a minor complaint. Actually, you've got your suits as long as the game feels. How does the swinging feel? Does this, to use the colloquial term from other games journalists, does this game really make you feel like Spider-Man?
Yes, and also it kind of makes me feel like Batman. Have you? So you haven't played Arkham Knight, but have you played Arkham City?
I played Arkham's. I played two of them. Actually, no, I think I have played Arkham Knight and Arkham Beginning. I played the first two. I haven't played the third one. Arkham City's the third one, isn't it?
Arkham City's the second. Arkham Knight's the third.
I played Arkham City. I have not played Arkham Knight.
Okay, so you know how in that game you just glide around everywhere and then you use the grapple hook to like boost yourself up to get more height so you can glide around even further?
Yeah.
A lot of this for me is like using the wingsuit to glide around and then using the swinging mechanics to get more height or get more speed to go back into the glide around. It's a very unique way to do things. And there'll be times I just swing because swinging feels really good. They've also done things like, hey, you can go out of a dive into a swing, and if you've gotten enough speed out of that dive, then you'll just start doing a loop-de-loop. Seen many clips on Twitter of people doing that and then immediately eating pavement and dying because they've turned fall damage on. Fall damage is absolutely hilarious in this game as well. I've got that turned on, and it's a blast to just like, you accidentally fumble a swing just a little bit, and then you've just taken out like 50% of your health for no reason.
That seems pretty shit. Like it's an
optional toggle, so you don't
okay.
have to have it on. I have it on because I get a kick out of whenever that happens.
What a weird thing to say. What a weird thing to get a kick out of. So, but hang on. So you've brought up the glide suit. Is the glide suit? Is it an alternative to swinging? Because like in 2018, when I had mad time just swinging around, doing tricks and stuff in the air, I didn't feel like it needed to be improved.
Yeah, it didn't need to. The stuff they've done to swinging alone has made it like an improvement of what 2018 offers. Like they've done all the things that people have been wanting, like giving you the slingshot option or giving you the loop-de-loop options. And you also have a toggle now for how much swing assistance you want, which is just how much the game's going to automate the swinging a little bit for you. Like in the 2018 game, as long as you were swinging, you couldn't touch the ground, you couldn't touch the road. You'd always hover like maybe 6 feet over it. In this game, you can dial it from 0 to 10, and having it at 0, it's like, yeah, okay, we're not going to give you any assistance. Like even if you start swinging too low to the ground, once you hit the ground, you're going to stop swinging, sort of thing. Okay,
that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's just more options, really. And it gives you that more degree of freedom with your swinging that helps it make it feel that much better. And yeah, so the gliding suit is just like an extra addition on top of that to just help you get around a bit faster. You can have it from like the beginning of the game as well, so it's not like something you have to unlock, it's just always part of your kit. And yeah, it all just kind of blends together to make like a really smooth feeling experience of like traveling across the map. Like I've got fast travel unlocked across the entire map, and I never use it. I just swing and glide everywhere because it's just that fun.
Okay, that's actually a really good thing to hear. If actually playing the game is more fun than fast traveling, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, and the fast travel in this game is so instant. Like you don't even have fast travel points anymore. It's just click somewhere on the map, and you'll fast travel to that exact location.
Okay, that's fucking game changing. I absolutely hate games where like, no, you can only fly it, or you can only get to this point for fast traveling. Okay, that's actually huge. You can just like drop a pin essentially and fly to it. Or fast travel to it. Okay, that's huge actually.
It's amazing how much just general open world feelingness of this game has, like how much Insomniac is changing in game essentially for this genre.
Yeah, it's actually that is, the more I think about it, the more that is huge. I love to hear it. I don't know where else I can go with this. You said I'm just conscious that I just don't want to. You haven't finished it, so I don't want to get your final thoughts on it yet. It seems like you're having an amazing time with it, and we don't want to go into spoiler territory. What about the whatchamajiggers, the side quests, voice acting, music? We're eating good.
We're eating good on all of those. Like voice acting was already pretty phenomenal in the first game. They're all just hitting it out of the park already. Music, so the big thing for me is that when you're swinging as Peter, it's still that like orchestral movie score sound. And I just like swinging around as Miles better because he's got that more hip hop defined musical score, even though it's the exact same music track. There's just a different instrumentation on it, makes it better. And I do appreciate that they do like different musical scores for the two different Spider-Men. I've heard that once I get the black suit, it changes for Peter as well to something else for him. So I'm excited to hear what that's going to be.
No, that's fucking fantastic. Like that just it shows that like they're not that they're two different characters. Like they're not.
Yeah, and even when it comes to Peter, cool. He's two different people when he's normal and when he's got the black suit on.
Oh, yeah.
Like his entire mood changes.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it's fucking sick. That is really cool.
Yeah, side quests very very good so far. There's a couple you do around Miles' school to help him out that are like they're fine, but the other ones that are like through the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man app, those are all fantastic. Like I did one recently the last time I played where there's this guy Henry from the first game that has all these pigeons that you had to go and rescue. I did a side quest with him, and that was really fantastic. Like what you do in that side quest isn't much, but the story side to it is great.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see like really good writing quality coming in for the side missions.
Yeah, it's good to hear. I think look, I'll be honest with you, Saif. I was already sold on it before, but I think I'm even more sold on it now. I don't know. I do really want to replay the first one. Do you need to play the first one to get an idea of the story or anything, or can you?
They give you a recap.
Doesn't really matter.
They give you a recap for both Miles Morales and Spider-Man. The only thing they don't really recap in the recap is saying that the villain of the Miles Morales game was Miles' friend.
Oh,
yeah. So weird thing to omit from that, but yeah,
so they just said it was just whoever it was.
Yeah, they said the villain name, but not their identity.
Oh, foreshadowing, perhaps? Nah, probably not. Cool. I hesitate to give it a score out of 10. But no, sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was also going to say one more thing is that I haven't done much yet, but they are still tying things together from the first game. So that weren't in that recap. So maybe it will pay off to do the first game and its DLCs, but I don't want to like tell people to go play this 30-hour story to go play this one. Like you can jump into this one, no problem. It's just a few things you get a better payoff if you did play the first game first. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Out of 10.
Out of 10 so far, I want to say a 9.
What's wrong with it? You give out. I might not give out 10s, but you surely do.
I'm still in the setup. Once it starts turning up the gears, I'll see if it stays at 9 or goes up to 10.
Yeah, it always depends. Yeah, if you get a shit ending, it might sour your experience, like with me.
Yeah, that too.
Disco Elysium. Yeah. Cool. Is that it? I guess. Yeah. I'm very excited. Are you very excited to keep playing it?
I am. Like, I've been itching to play it, but I've been busy editing last week's episode of the podcast, so I haven't gotten to play it since Sunday. Ooh. And I was chomping at the bit to play it as well because my delivery came in late. I was meant to get it sometime on Friday, but Amazon was like, "Yeah, no, we've got a problem with shipments. It's delayed." And they sent me a message at midnight saying, "Oh yeah, no, we're shipping it out now." And I still didn't get it until like 3:00 Saturday, like 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's fucking rough. Has that because usually with like midnight or day one releases, and I get very, very few of those these days, and when they are usually Nintendo ones, I usually get mine online. Number one, because with Nintendo games there is no difference really on price. Like I might save $5 or $10 by getting it by like buying it online, but I don't want to wait. I want it ASAP.
Yeah.
How much did you save by buying it physical, and would you do it next time?
$26 and still $26.
That's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, because full retail price was $125 if I got it from like EB or the PlayStation Store. I got it from Amazon for $99. I found out like Big W and JB also do the $99 price tag, so maybe I'll get it from them next time I do a first day release. But yeah, I also got like the $15 DLC for the deluxe edition. to get a few extra things for the game. So in the end, I spent like 114 on the game.
That's so fucking much, man. I'm gonna get game in 3 years. I'm gonna get that game in 3 years for $30. But then, look, at the same time, though, if you are loving it, who am I to judge?
Yeah, no, it is a lot of money, but I do think I've enjoyed it enough that that's money well spent. And Insomniac deserves that support because Insomniac is crazy good. I think I was also teasing it a little bit before. I can't remember if I was, but the game sold like 2.5 million copies in 24 hours.
Yeah, I saw that. And considering it's PlayStation 5 only, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if like a significant amount of people that own PlayStation 5s will own this game.
Yeah,
and it's good to see. It's good to see. Like as much as I can be, where it's not on Xbox. It is good to see like a game that has come out this year that is good, doesn't really have any frame rate or bug issues. And that everybody's like genuinely enjoying. Like all the shit posts that I've seen online are literally just nobody's making themselves angry at this game because God forbid to be someone of a different race or gender than a straight white man. Like it's genuinely good to see this game come out in such a polished state.
That's the thing. That's the thing I was going to mention as well.
I don't know. Cut to commercial. What's he going to do?
So Insomniac's gone, oh yeah, so we made a mistake. We've instead of having the Puerto Rican flag in Miles Morales' room, we have I can't even remember what
the flag. I think it's the Cuban flag.
Cuban flag, that's it.
Yeah.
It's really funny that they've made that mistake though, and they have to fix it because there's a skin you unlock with Miles that has the Puerto Rican flag on his costume, like the proper actual Puerto Rican flag, and not a messed up Cuban one.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to say that. Like it's a shame that stuff like that gets missed, but like stuff like that gets missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny shit posts that I've seen online, it's it's equal parts people saying that this game isn't woke because they got it wrong, but it somehow is woke because God forbid he has a flag in his room. I hate going online so much sometimes.
Do not go on Twitter.
Yeah.
And also for the record, I've had one crash so far.
I don't think you want to be saying that, big fella. But no, that's fine. That was probably a marathon game, and those type of thing happen. But like that's probably few and far between. It probably runs at 60 frames a second. Not that the human eye can see more than 24 frames.
It supports up to 120 apparently. I don't think it's
hitting catches fire.
Yeah, I don't think it's hitting 120, but it is going above 60.
Interesting.
And it does look really smooth. I'm playing it on with that 120 option turned on because my monitor supports it, and it runs really smooth.
Well, you need it to run really smooth, especially when you're swinging around and all that type of thing. But anyway, final thoughts. You've been speaking about this game for 25 minutes, and all it has done is made me want a PS5.
Good. Get a PS5 and play the game. It's very good.
Nah, rats.
Maybe they'll do a bundle. I think they do, actually.
It wouldn't surprise me. We get this. We got to get God of War, Final Fantasy, both 16 and 7.
Don't forget Final Fantasy's coming out in February as well. The second part of Final Fantasy 7.
That's one game. I'm not fucking falling for that. Don't even tempt me, Mr. Enix. But yeah, it's getting dangerously close. Maybe for Christmas. But there are so many games here. We'll see.
But you play so many of them on Game Pass already. You can afford it.
That's not the point. That's not the point whether I can afford it or not. The point is like I have no time. I want to be a Pokemon master. Man, going to those Pokemon tournaments and grinding up these Pokemon are really taking up the time. But anyway, thank you very much, Seth.
You're welcome.
Man, good game. Yeah, very good game. And from what I've seen online, it looks very good as well.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I hope to come in next week with more good news about the game.
Ooh, hopefully it wasn't bad news. You've kind of set it up. But anyway, Starfield. I have completed it. I think I spent a bit too much time playing for it. Like when I was speaking about it, I think I was trying to find enjoyment out of it. And I kind of was always looking for this hook as I was playing with it. And the sort of second I stopped looking for the hook, that sort of became the hook. Like I stopped looking for things deeper. I was just like, I feel like doing this. I'm just going to do this. Like I didn't follow a quest if I didn't want to follow a quest. I didn't.
You stopped trying to treat it like the second coming of Skyrim.
No, I think I just because it does so many things and it does a number of things well, but it just doesn't give you a reason to do anything. Like the outpost management, which I spoke about. I set up a couple of outposts. Then I got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm just flying to these planets to pick up resources. And it's not really an intuitive way of setting it up. Like you have to go into the star map. There isn't a screen to sort of find the outpost. You have to go into the star map, find which base you're looking for. Like there's a symbol, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. Like works really good in theory, and then they've applied it, and it's like, eh. But yeah, and I finished all the faction quests. I did a bunch of side quests. I finished the main stories. I don't know. It was good. I had a good time with it, but kind of towards the last 10 or so hours out of my about, I think 60 hours I put into it. I probably a bit too long, to be honest. And a lot of probably like 10, 15 hours that was fucking around. But I got to a point where I'm like, yeah, like I'm sort of done with this kind of thing. Yeah, and like so the faction quests are very good. Like it's kind of like a Skyrim thing where it's you follow one sort of area and it's not really a side quest. I see them as branches to the main quest, their own main quests in their own right. And especially the UC Vanguard quest, like the United Colonies Vanguard, when you're looking for these alien life forms that are like apparently they just appear on colonies and they just wipe everybody out, and you're solving that mystery. It's got a real alien type of vibe, like Alien the movie, Alien, like this with xenomorphs. It kind of feels a bit like that. And you've got the Freestar Ranger storyline, just a bunch of cowboys in space, and that is good. And then it sort of ends. It feels like they're going to do a lot more with it, and then it just, oh, is that it? Oh, bro, we're done. That's fine. But yeah, and I did have a good time with it, and then yeah, I just kind of got over it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. And do you care if I spoiler it?
No, go ahead. I'm not going to play Starfield.
Oh, bastard.
I already know my taste. I don't really like Bethesda RPGs.
Yeah, yeah, especially when it's like in space and that kind of thing. Like it doesn't like with I said it in my initial thoughts. I'll say it again. Skyrim sort of sets it up to be this magical type of world with all this lore, and while Starfield sort of does set itself up with all this lore, there's no real magic to tie it all together. It just feels like it's people living in the future type of thing until there is magic and you get these weird powers. But essentially, the end is
that's right. I forgot it just has the Fusro Da in it.
Yeah, it does. It's dumb Starfield. It's Starborn powers, sorry. So the essential premise of the ending is that you've collected all these artifacts and these artifacts lead to the Unity. And this Unity is, in my interpretation of it, it's a portal to either a parallel universe or the multiverse, essentially. And when you collect all of it, you create this big portal thing and you go through it. And then that is the new game plus. And it is kind of cool, like when you build and just before you step into the Unity, it's another version of you and you're talking to yourself. Like the NPC you is talking to you playing the game, and it's like, oh, hey, these are all your choices. And because now you're joining the Unity, your essence will sort of spread across the universe. And then these are all because you wiped out all these pirates, because you sided with like the space police, there are less pirates in the universe generally because law and order is thriving because your essence gets spread out when you enter the Unity. And then when you enter the Unity, you're essentially being transported to another universe, and the game really starts again. Like it starts again. It literally, without sense of the word, it starts again. Like that is the new game plus. Like it sort of does skip the first 5-10 minutes of the game, then it's like, okay, you've got a quest. It's like, oh, go check in the lodge, which is like your base. And then you're talking to all your friends and everyone's like, who the fuck are you? And like, oh, well, I was reborn and here I am. And I was looking into it online and I'm like, is this kind of it? But then it turns out that with each of these unities that you go through, every time you complete the game, collect all these artifacts and you start the new game plus again, there is a random chance you'll get a different universe, as in like it's not exactly the same. Like, and whether that means like one of the companions is there's 10 different scenarios, and I don't remember all of them, but some of the interesting ones is like,
okay, yeah, because I was gonna say how much changes.
Yes, it's very little. It's just to do with like your companions and the base of operations, like the lodge and Constellation, which is kind of like the group you're part of. And one of them is the head of Constellation, Sarah, is like a plant, but you can talk to the plant because the plant is a Starborn because Sarah's gone through the Unity. but everyone thinks you're weird because like the plant doesn't talk, but the plant talks to you. It seems very weird. Another one is that one of the primary antagonists, the hunter, he is Constellation. Like you walk into the lodge and he's like, oh, hey, how you going? I just killed everybody here. Who are you? So, and then there's another one where it's literally a bunch of other Starborn like yourself that has gone through the Unity. So there's like, you go to the lodge and there's 6 other yous in the lodge. And it's that kind of things that like would be, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But then when you think about it, it's like, okay, that's a random chance I'm going to get that. What is the chance I'm going to get that? And that's it. Like, am I going to go looking for something different and it's not going to be there?
Do you know if once you get a certain, like let's call them seeds, if you get a certain seed, next time you go into Unity, it removes that seed from the random chance? Or do you have a random chance of getting the same seed again?
I think you have a random chance of getting the same seed again.
Oh, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like if it was like, not worse, but it's like, if let's say there's 10 of them and they kind of want you to go through all 10 of them, it would make sense to be like, yeah, so they're randomized, but every time it removes the one you've seeded from the stack, so that the next time it's like, okay, so there's 9 left, we'll randomize between those 9 and so on until you clear all 10.
But that's just it. Like, not only does it randomize between the 10 you've got to go to, you've got a chance of going to the same universe where it's like nothing's different.
Yeah.
So like so because like I'm like, okay, cool, let's see if I get a random one. I go into it, I land at the lodge, I'm like, oh, like this is the exact same, nothing's changed. And it's just like, what's the point? Like it's not incentivizing you to do the new game plus because you don't bring any of your items or equipment with you. Like you keep your level and your powers that you've gotten, and you get fancy new ship, but like you're not really bringing anything else over. Like you've got knowledge and stuff, and you can redo the quests if you really want to. Like it's not like as if you can. There might be some like dialogue that you can skip over because you've got the knowledge of certain twists and stuff that's going on. But then it's like But then at what point are you just sort of skipping the quest to get to the end of it? I get the idea and what they're trying to do, but it just feels very.
It sounds hollow.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a couple of like change of it's the illusion of change. Like oh cool, you're in a new universe. You can do many other things, but you can really only do 4 faction quests.
Yeah, having not played it and just having it described, it almost sounds like it would have been preferred to just have a straight New Game Plus instead of this random chance of slight changes. It
would be 100%, or like give an incentive to play again, except for like just keeping my powers and doing everything again. Like, why would I change the universe? I've got all my good weapons, my good guns, my outpost setups. I finished all the quests and stuff. Like, why would I go through it again? Like, and if the changes in the parallel universe are just sort of nothing burgers, then what's the point? And it just really let me down. Like, not that I expected that it would be any different, but the game makes such a big deal towards the end of, oh, you're entering the Unity, you're not sure where you're going to end up, things might be really different. Then you go there and then nothing's different.
A lot of people made a big deal about it as well. Like, one of the big things I saw was, well, besides like the game gets better once you get past the tutorial, is that the game gets even better once you get to New Game Plus.
But like in the sense of like, oh yeah, of course New Game Plus is going to be like better in quotation marks because you've got like a higher level and all your powers.
No, the way it was being described that I saw was like the New Game Plus defines Starfield essentially. That's the point where the people that really enjoyed Starfield was like, yeah, no, I get it now. And this is why I really like Starfield.
Yeah. And I think people that are into that, like you hear stories online of people spending quadrillion hours in Skyrim, like setting up their house exactly the way they want. They've cleared every dungeon a million times. They've done a million things. And you can do that in Starfield, but why? And then why would you go to the New Game Plus version? Because like you lose all the stuff you left behind. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a letdown. And maybe because I also heard a couple of people online saying, oh yeah, New Game Plus is when it really opens up. And I'm like, it doesn't. Like it's
the illusion of opening up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it kind of, not that it soured my experience, because I think I knew what I was expecting. But then at the same time, it felt like oh, really? Like, this really is it? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, what are they really going to do in New Game Plus? And then you get back to the lodge and it's nothing's changed. And you're like, huh. And then I looked online. I'm like, does anything change? And it's like, no, not really. But whatever. It is what it is. But no, I did have a good time with Starfield. The combat's really good. The space combat's really good. Some of the side quests are really good. Some of them aren't. But yeah, it tries to do a lot of things. It tries to be a very big game, and it is a big game. But like, there's like what 4,000 planets or something, and you don't need them. I'd rather like 40 planets that are really detailed rather than 4,000 planets that are like procedurally generated. And like there are like alien life forms in every planet, but like just free skins essentially. There's nothing really special. But yeah, I can see there's a couple of hooks where it might want to add DLC. Like there's one faction that I thought it would make you join, like these weird religious zealot faction, the Varun. And they're mentioned really heavily at the start and then they're never spoken about again. So I get the feeling some DLC might come out to do some other things. And will I get the DLC? Absolutely not. I'll get it 4 years time when the season pass is like 40 years, like $40 off or something.
It's like $15 to get Starfield the complete edition in like
exactly.
10 years.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. But yeah, I'll change my score to a 7. I think I gave it an 8 last time, but yeah, it's a 7. And I get the feeling
7. You might as well be calling it mid.
It's just above mid. Like I had a good time with it, not a great time. Like I wouldn't like to play it. Like I would play it again in like 5 years time, let's say, but I'm not playing it again anytime soon, and not with that additional content. Whew. But yeah, and anything else you want to talk about, Saif? Did you mention Soul Hackers? Or you can just see it here on the docket.
No, it's on the docket, but I can save that for another time because there's still more stuff I need to do in that game. I've just finished the normal ending of it.
Is the ending good?
I really enjoyed it.
Ah, cool.
Just general quick update. Last time I said it's a 6 out of 10. I still feel like it's a 6 out of 10, but to me personally, it's a 7. And
what the fuck does that mean? You can't give it 2 scores, man. Grim.
I realize this is what it will be to most people, but this is what it is to me.
Just give it a 7 then. Like if you like the game, this is your score.
No,
like,
because for me it's a 7, but I know if someone else plays it, they'll see it as a 6 or a 5. It is very like me call, like I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. Yeah, from what you were saying about all the grinding and stuff last week, it really turned me off because I was sort of looking forward to this game, and then you said, "Yeah, it's a shit ton of grinding." I'm like, you know what? I'm turned off.
You know what? I'll save it for the next time I talk about it properly because there's a reason why it took I had to grind. But yeah, in my game of the year category list where I'm tracking all the games I played this year, I've given it a 7, saying it's mid, but I like her.
You like her? See, exactly. That's the fucking point. Yeah, only like it because it's got some big titty anime waifu in it. Fucking knew it. Knew there was something.
Ringo doesn't even have big titties.
Is that her name, Ringo? Like from the Beatles?
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I think that's it.
That do be it.
That do be it. It do be like that sometimes, and this be it now. Thank you very much, everybody, for indulging us while we've been around the lounge. And I believe we've got some sponsored messages coming up. So Steph and I are going to step out of the studio, go have a quick drink of water, quick bathroom break, and then we'll come back with the news at the top of the hour. Bye.
We now join America's most popular show, already in progress. Everybody loves Hypnotoad.
This show's been going downhill since season 3.
And welcome back. Thank you very much, Benjamin's Beds, for the sponsor. Once again, that is Benjamin's Beds. If you're not sleeping in the Benjamins. Top of the hour with the news. And I like Mortal Kombat. You like Mortal Kombat, Seth.
Do I?
This game kind of... Yeah, you love Mortal Kombat. You can't stop talking about Mortal Kombat 1. But there does seem to be a good practice in all kind of software and tech in general is to keep crash logs of every time a game crashes. It takes a log, and then when you can send it off to the developers and they can understand why it crashed. But for some reason, people that play Mortal Kombat 1 are finding that these crash logs are taking up a whole gigabyte
each
per crash. Yeah, per crash. Not even for the whole log, per crash.
It gets even bigger. Apparently one guy has roughly 1.81 gigabytes per crash.
Jesus fucking Christ. Why is so Jesus Christ. So I'm looking at some of the screenshots in this PC Gamer article. This one person, the crash log in its entirety is an extra 41 gigabytes. Holy fucking shit. What is it collecting?
The entire game, apparently.
Yeah. Or like 1/3 of the game. That's fucking crazy. Imagine just like you run out of disk space and you're trying to find out where it is. And it's like, an extra 40 gigs of fucking crash logs that you're not ever going to use. That's insane.
I sent all of these to NetherRealm. Why are they still here?
Yeah, surely it's just like maybe it's like your whole playtime and it's just sort of like screen catching it and sending it off. RIP to that guy's credit card. If you're
sending them your exact PC details, your IP address.
IP address, any payment methods linked to your thing.
Your mum's credit card number.
Your webcam's like remains on during the whole time you're playing Mortal Kombat 1.
So does your microphone, and I've heard some of the things people say in Mortal Kombat online chat.
An extra funny thing that this article is it says it's a crash-tality, which is pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know what you want to do about that. Maybe delete all your crash logs if you're a Mortal Kombat 1 player. NetherRealm is looking into it, but it's just very, very strange thing to do.
Yeah, weird that they've gotten that big already. Like, well, not that big already. I mean, like, that big in general. Because they should just be text files.
You'd think. How much is on the text? Like, maybe it's logging every key input while you're playing the game. I don't know. I don't know. All the best to NetherRealm. All the best. Very, very. I wish you all a very big crash log. But anyway, in some game announcements, the Hotline Miami collection is now available for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Is this a surprise drop, Saif? What's going on?
Yeah, this is a surprise drop in that I don't think it was announced, and it's been a hot minute since Hotline Miami was, I guess, relevant is the word I want to say. Number
2 came out ages ago.
Number 2 was banned over here for some time. I think it might still be banned.
It was. I think they got around it. They released this a special Australian mode that like reduced some of the blood or the drug content. I hate drugs here. But yeah, no, that's absolutely insane. But yeah, so if you, I have seen the Hotline Miami games. I have not played any of them. They don't really look like my type of games.
They look like my type of games. I just haven't gotten around to them yet. Mostly because 2 got banned. I was just like, yeah, no, I'll need a way around the ban to get it. And I just never bothered.
So in the States, it is $19.99. Let's play a guessing game, Steph. How much do you think it is here?
$30.
$30, eh? Is that what you reckon?
That's what I reckon.
And I'm bringing it up. Here we go.
I love the first comment in this Gamatsu article says, only the first one is good. Save yourself $10.
Yeah, because you can buy them separately. Like while it is a bundle, you can buy them separately. And for literally half the price. So fuck's sake, of course it's so it's $19.99 on the United States store. On the Xbox store, it looks like. Unless it is American, but that's fine. That's actually not too bad. But if you wanted to buy it on Switch, it is $44.95 for whatever fucking reason, which is very, very interesting.
Hold on, I'm just doing a check. Hotline Miami collection on PS5 is $29.95.
Maybe the Xbox one does say $19.99. It does say in Australia.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's US.
It must be US, yeah, because that'd be roughly $29. But yeah, that's I'm probably not going to get it, but
yeah, it doesn't sound like there's any new additions. Like, I'm pretty sure these games ran at 60 no matter what console you were playing it on anyway. So it's just good, yeah. It's just a bundle for PS5 and Xbox Series.
Actually, no, I lied. For some reason, so what I was looking at is on Amazon, if you buy the physical edition of Hotline Miami, you get like a poster and an art book, and that's why it's $44.95. But if you're on the Switch store, it's $24.99. That was an absolute shit game to play. I was not ready for it. Please don't ever let me do that again. Just like my segues, we are now banning guess what it costs.
No more off the cuff guessing.
Yeah, no more games. But yeah,
video games banned.
Yeah, finally. And also in very niche Steven news, have you ever played the .hack series, Seth?
No, I watched Trinity play the first one for a little bit. Well, not first one, but like the first one in that collection that came out a few years ago.
So there's 2 collections that have come out, my good friend. There's
The GU collection.
The GU collection, yeah, okay. I played because there's 2 main things of Dot Hack. There's like the Dot Hack, which is like the sort of original one, and it's a game that's an MMO. It's a single player game, but it like pretends it's an MMO. And it's got a real life companion anime that it goes with, and then there's the GU, which is sort of a spin off to that. And I played that collection thinking it was the original one 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, I think I might have been one of the first episodes on this podcast I spoke about it. Horrible game. The story's all over the place. Gameplay is mundane and boring. But yeah, anyway, so the .hack.com, which is in dothack.com, has a countdown timer. It was recently posted, I guess. So in 128 days, 13 hours and 26 minutes, we will be receiving some type of news, whatever the fuck that news is. Very, very weird way to do an announcement so far out. So 128 days.
Yeah, it's over 4 months away.
Yeah. It was an absolutely insane thing to do. Yeah.
What should be a countdown to an announcement of an announcement?
No. Dot Hack coming in 2025. Yeah, and I don't think anybody was sort of asking for this kind of thing. Like they did the GU thing, and they remaster is a very, very strong word because all they did was just port it to the PS4. But yeah, forward. We'll hopefully be reporting on it in 4 months. Check back here.
I hope it's good. I know a lot of people really like the Dot Hack series. I know Trinity really likes it.
It's one of those games that if you're into those type of games, you'll love it, and then it's not for anybody else.
Yeah, and when it was back in its heyday, it was a massive media franchise thing. There was multiple games. There was multiple anime tie-ins. It seems like it was really big.
Well. Yeah, it was big. For the people that loved it, they loved it. And I think it was, for its time, it was pretty good for what it was trying to do and integrate with the anime. But
did you know on the PS3 there was a prototype to Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm that was a Dot Hack game?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I can't remember what it came with. It might have actually been with like a Dot Hack Blu-ray thing, but it also came with a Dot Hack fighting game that was just early Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Oh, okay, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's just your fun facts for the day.
That is. That would have been like, what, like the PS2 era or something?
No, it was like, it would have been like 2006, 2007. It was on PS3.
Ah, okay.
But it was like right before Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 1.
Man, that's actually insane. How do you know that? Did you just Google that or? No,
I've known about that since it was a thing. Like my first time ever hearing about Dot Hack was through that Dot Hack versus. I just Googled it now to get the name of it.
I'm going to do some research on that in my own time. In the meantime, though, more game announcements. Air Twister for console and PC detailing extra modes. I don't even think I've fucking heard of this game, Seth. What have you brought to my attention?
We've talked about this one before, but it was a Apple Arcade game, I think. So it kind of just went under the carpet, and I brought it up just going, yeah, I hope it comes to real things later. It's coming to real things now. Air Twister is kind of a Panzer Dragoon-like game, or Space Harrier-like, and it just seems kind of neat. And they're adding more modes, so like these extra stages and adventure mode, and a bunch of other small things like that weren't in there, like a turbo mode that makes it go faster. Seems interesting, seems fun, looks cheap as hell, but I don't mind that too much. I don't mind cheaper looking games as long as they're priced well. And yeah, I'm excited for it. Well, not excited is too strong of a word. I am mildly interested in this.
Yeah. I don't know, just looking at some of the screenshots of this, I don't know, maybe just because it's not loading in high quality, it doesn't look very good. But yeah, all the best. I can't wait for you to report into it. Will you be getting it on the phone? Or sorry, on Apple Arcade? Or will you be getting
No. I've been waiting for this to come to PC. I don't have any Apple products to get Apple Arcade games.
Surely you can just get like the executable and play it on your Android device.
I think so, maybe. I've never looked into it, honestly.
I've actually got one to sell, so meet me in Macca's car park and bring your mum's credit card, and we'll meet at like 11 o'clock, and I'll bring the phone, and we can do like a swap or something.
How about instead of bringing my mum's credit card, I bring you a 12-pack of Krispy Kremes?
Oh, hang on. If you bring 12 pack Krispy Kremes, I might not even rob you. Might just take the Krispy Kremes. Might be worth my time. Let's talk after this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sort out some plans.
Okay, and more game announcements. It seems like it's a good week to be a game announcement. The classic, simulation RPG, I think, is what this weird subgenre of this is. System Shock 2 is coming to PS5 and the Xbox Series. The Xbox Series X and S, I guess.
Yeah, that's why people just shorten it to Series.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb name. I understand.
Such a dumb name. It's just since like the Xbox One. Anyway, but yeah, so this is very interesting. It does seem to be a remaster of the System Shock 2 game. It is not a remake of System Shock 1, the one that came out this year.
Yeah, it's just making it run in higher resolution
and
look smoother.
It doesn't seem that they've done anything. Like they've probably fixed it up to like, because when this game came out, it was like PC only and it was really good with a keyboard and mouse. And if you're trying to play it on a controller, it's probably akin to dragging yourself through nails.
Yeah, I imagine there's changes to make it controller compatible. Because if it isn't, it's going to be a really tough sell.
I've heard a lot of good things about the System Shock series as a whole. And even the remake, that System Shock 1 that came out this year. Let's be honest, I'll never get to them.
I want to, because I know BioShock was inspired by them. And a lot of people say these are better than the BioShock games. And I really enjoyed BioShock 1.
Yeah, BioShock 1 was fantastic, yeah. And this is kind of that kind of era with like Deus Ex and Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, right? Immersive sim, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, immersive sims were like really taking off and kind of were in their heyday back then. I feel like immersive sims as like a genre of popularity died after BioShock.
Yeah, like even the BioShock franchise exists, like BioShock Infinite. Really wasn't one.
Yeah, Infinite became more of a first-person shooter.
Yeah, and that's what was that game that came out 8 months ago? Atomic Heart. That was kind of a bridge between, like, it was inspired by the early BioShock games, but it was more action-orientated, which is a shame. Immersive sims are really good when they get it right, but it's very hard to grab attention like that these days. But yeah, System Shock 2 Enhanced Edition. It's coming soon. And this is in some fighting game news, reporting to Saif from the fighting game desk. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is having some responses to its first beta test or something. First open beta test.
Yeah, so this is a really big, like, 18-minute...
Oh, thank God it's a list. We haven't had a Saif list bit in a while.
I'm not going to do it as a list.
I'm going to get my slippers and my nightcap. Time for my honk and chew era.
No, we're going to be in and out of this one really quickly because a lot of this is technical stuff that I don't think is important to cover on the news doc. Like, do we really care to cover the news that they've reduced certain attacks cost by 50%? I don't think so. The only major thing I really wanted to bring up from this is that earlier when they did the beta in Versus Rising, you had simple inputs and classic inputs for your special moves. And there was no difference to doing either one of them. A lot of fighting game players were like, well, what's the point of having the classic inputs at all if there's going to be no difference for using those compared to the simple ones? And so it seems like that's gone through to ArcSys and side games and like, okay, there is a difference now. Doing the simple inputs isn't as effective. I think they're weaker now. I can't see in this article the actual... Oh, here it is. Changes to technical inputs. Skills performed using technical... Okay, so it's just a 10% damage buff if you do like a quarter circle motion.
Isn't that just the easy mode from Street Fighter?
Yeah. A lot of games are doing the Street Fighter 6 classic and like the easy mode and the classic mode now. Grand Blue was going to be like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the exact same. Where Street Fighter was like, there's a difference between them, and people didn't like Grand Blue not having a difference. So now there is one.
Is good news, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's good news because...
What do you think? It's either is it or it's not.
No, I'm saying I think it's good news. Like me thinking that, because yeah, like really, what is the point of doing a quarter circle motion if it's going to do the exact same? If it's going to be the exact same as just holding forward and pressing the special button instead. If there's no difference, then just go one or the other.
Yeah. It's good that you don't really hear, or maybe I didn't hear about it because I'm not in the fighting game community, but like it's good to sort of see all of the changes. It's like, oh, hey, like thanks for playing based on the feedback that we've gotten. This is all the stuff we're doing. It's a lot better seeing a beta like that rather than a beta as just being, oh, hey, it's just a stress test to the network.
Yeah, a lot of the times we just do get that, and then we don't know about the changes until the next beta happens or something. Tekken, they have like whenever they have a panel, they'll be like, okay, so here's all the data we collected off of the last beta we did, by the way. But yeah, we don't really get like this big of a deep dive either. This is like a massive list of changes, and again, it's an 80-minute video of a lot of technical stuff that I don't think is worth covering too much. It was just that
80 minutes.
Yeah, 80 minutes.
Jesus. That's more than like what Sakurai would do with those Smash releases. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I only wanted to cover the technical input thing on this article.
Oh, it's good. I guess Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. You're eating good, I guess. You had a taster. Hopefully
I didn't because I didn't play. I didn't because I didn't play that beta. That beta was on when I think that was on the same time the Tekken beta was on. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm going to play Tekken instead. And you know,
play both at the same time.
You know what happened with Tekken this time? Tekken's second beta was the weekend Spider-Man was out. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not playing Tekken because Spider-Man's out.
What do you mean? You had so much time. You had to wait until your thing got delivered.
Yeah, I ended up playing Soul Hackers 2 and doing some off-stream stuff that I didn't want to show on stream. Yeah.
But that's pretty funny. But oh well, that is what it is. But yeah, all the best to Grand Blue Fantasy Versus fans. And in some truly terrible news, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2 has been delayed to November the 7th. It's only a 4-day release.
I'm sorry for Patrick's pre-order.
R.I.P. Patrick. R.I.P. indeed. I'm sure he's crying and pissing himself right now. Interesting that this game is getting a retail release and it comes out a month later.
Yeah, that one's really weird.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why it wasn't a full week delay because now it's coming out on a Tuesday instead of a weekend.
Who knows? But because of this delay, they're giving out a special bonus. You can get Patrick's elastic waistband costume if you buy it digitally, I think. That's a weird way of wording it. No, Patrick's elastic waistband costume will now be available to all digital purchases made during the first week of launch. So if you buy you're only buying digital because it comes out a month later. Interesting. That's pretty sad. That is a weird 4-day delay, but all the best. Hopefully it doesn't.
Do you think that will help with the game's health? Like usually delays like this. Well, at this time of year, a delay just is basically just getting out of the way of a different game. Do you think whatever is coming out around that time is going to help increase Nick All-Star's health?
What's coming out around that time, though?
I don't know, actually.
Just quick Google search. You can edit this out. Game's coming up November 2023. That RoboCop game is supposed to be coming soon.
I heard that's surprisingly good.
Really?
Yeah, but then again, it was from
for a second.
It was from Greg Miller's podcast.
Don't know who that is.
He's an old IGN head.
Yuck! Absolutely fucking disgusting. If it's not Giant Bomb, I don't listen to it. Yeah, there's nothing. WarioWare Move It comes out on November 3rd.
Star Ocean Second Story comes out November 2nd.
Yeah, it's just like 40 games. All it's done is move itself closer to the Super Mario RPG.
But anyway. There really is 2 Super Mario Brothers games coming out a month apart, huh? One that just came out, and then it's going to be Mario RPG.
Will I don't know. Will I get Mario RPG? I probably will. Not on release though. Let's see. But yeah, Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. Look forward to it. November the 7th. Personally, I think it'll do the same thing like what it did last time. Like it'll go really big for about a week and then it'll die off.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think it'll even be as big as the first one was, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. And in a very rare time for Fast Travel Lounge to talk something good about Xbox.
You have no idea how much I am seething and coping right now.
This is literally just an announcement that Xbox is doing a partner preview So Nintendo does directs, Sony does state of play, and then Xbox is doing a partner preview. But it's important to note that this is not any new
this isn't an
announcements or
Xbox
anything.
Games Showcase either. So this is
Game
like
Showcase. That was what I was looking for.
yeah,
Yes.
this one specifically is for the third parties.
Yeah, and we're looking at third parties like our good friends Ryuga Gotoku, like the Like a Dragon series, Remedy, who's doing Alan Wake 2, and a bunch of other indies. And for whatever reason, they're really bringing out Ark Survival Ascended. Remember that game that's coming out for whatever reason?
The one with Vin Diesel.
Was it Vin Diesel? I thought it was The Rock.
No, that one was Vin Diesel.
Oh, fucking grim. I must be just getting confused. But yeah, that should be interesting. Is a word
I like seeing what third parties are doing, so I won't mind it. In saying that, we got some pretty big studio names already, and it's just going to be 20 minutes, so I don't know how much I can expect outside of Like a Dragon and Alan Wake 2 that'll get me excited.
Yeah, and is it like what? Like 8 minutes of Like a Dragon, 8 minutes of Alan Wake 2, and then 4 minutes of everything else, and they got to show like 20 other things. We'll have to see. I don't even think I'll watch it, to be honest. I'll read the cliff notes, but
I always watch these. They're on at a time where it's decent enough for me to just watch it while I'm doing some work in the morning, like getting my work notes sorted out.
is it? I thought it was at like a weird. Oh yeah, it's at like what 5 a.m. our time or something.
Oh yeah, Xbox does it super early in the morning. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
not like
usually
Japanese ones.
PlayStation and Nintendo that does them around 8-9 a.m.
Well, sometimes Nintendo will do them at like 10 p.m. or something.
or sometimes at midnight. Yeah.
I hate this bit of fucking midnight ones. I'll stay up late. I'll watch it. I'll be like trying so hard not to fall asleep in the lounge, and I'll watch it, and I'll be like I wish I was asleep.
The one
I
Smash reveal I got spoiled on was when Sora got added because I fell asleep waiting for that one specifically. And then when I woke up, the Twitch VOD thumbnail showed it was Sora.
You were never escaping that. You couldn't go online without that. For like 2 days, there was no one. Everyone was
Oh
talking
yeah,
about fucking Sora.
I immediately went on the next morning. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go straight to Nintendo's Twitch account. I'm not going to look at anything else, and it's Sora.
Absolutely huge. But yeah, one more little teensy bit of news.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of news. So Seth's two favorite things in the entire world are Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy. Are collaborating.
Don't forget the third, Fall Guys.
Oh, stop bringing that up.
No.
Have you played Fall Guys?
I have. I like Fall Guys.
Oh, I thought you hadn't played. I thought you were being ironic.
Now, if you've asked if I've played it in the last 12 months, that's a little harder to answer.
You played it last time you played Dragon Ball Breakers, right?
I think I played... No, I played Fall Guys when the Ratchet and Clank event happened, which was like the middle of last year.
That was probably before Dragon Ball Breakers, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I begged you not to buy that game. I begged you. Anyway, whatever. I'm upset now. So that is a Final Fantasy 14 and a Final Fantasy 16 crossover. As our resident Final Fantasy 16 reporter, what's the scene looking like, Seth?
Yeah, so they're
It's
doing
gonna rain. That was a good That was a good Family Guy reference.
Everything's on fire. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be doing an event where Clive Rosfield, the main character of Final Fantasy 16, ends up in the world of Final Fantasy 14. They show that you fight the Final Fantasy 16 version of Ifrit.
Come to me, Ifrit.
They haven't been too they haven't talked a lot about the details, but I'm kind of hoping this is like the Rathalos event where it's just a fight that exists in the game forever and not just a timed exclusive event that's going to happen. Because the Rathalos Monster Hunter collaboration is just still exists in Final Fantasy 14. You can go in at any time, go fight that Rathalos and get the materials for the Rathalos armor and the other stuff they do. So it'd just be really nice to just have this Ifrit fight just exist in the game, and you can fight it at your leisure to collect the materials for the collectibles you can get. The collectibles in question, you get Clive's outfit for both genders. You get a mount of Torgal, the dog from Final Fantasy 16, and you get a minion, which is like a little cutesy thing that follows you around on the overworld. You get a minion of Torgal as a puppy, and he's small and round, and looks flatly textured, but it's adorable.
Mm.
They've also said there's going to be more things, so like maybe musical orchestration roles that you can play in your house if you're lucky to own a house in Final Fantasy 14 and some other things potentially.
Yeah. And they're also doing an Xbox Series open beta in January and February 2024. It should be pretty cool. I will definitely be playing that if I have the time. Summer's a weird time where I'm doing things. Plus it's hot, so I try to go outside. But then I remember that I hate going outside because I get burned to a crisp.
In the 6.51 update, it's going to be the Fall Guys collaboration where they just take Fall Guys obstacle courses and put them into Final Fantasy 14's Golden Saucer, which is like the mini game. It's the mini game hub of Final Fantasy 14. So they're just going to have Fall Guys events running there, which will be fun to do.
Nah, it sounds weird, but okay.
It looks weird because it is just Fall Guys obstacle courses. Like it looks exactly like they do in those games. So it's a weird mismatch, but it does look fun to do.
Do you reckon this is like because Sony's been shilling Fall Guys very hard? Do you reckon this is like Sony saying, "Oh, hey, please do this"?
No, because Sony hasn't really shielded Fall Guys in a while. They did the Ratchet and Clank event, and they gave it away for free on PlayStation Plus when it first came out. But besides those two things, they haven't really talked about it. But Square Enix has partnered with Fall Guys a little bit as well on their own. Like they did the Nier Automata event, and then they had the Final Fantasy 14 event in Fall Guys. So it just seems like more of an extension of doing that.
Okay. Well, I guess power to all you Final Fantasy 14 players out there. Will you be playing it?
Yeah, I love the mini games in the Golden Saucer. So I'll definitely be giving it a try. And the final thing to mention for this is they've added they've announced what the first of the two new jobs for the Dawn Trail expansion is going to be. It's called the Viper class. This is a dual-bladed class, like you're holding two swords, and you can combine those two swords to make one long double-bladed staff, and it looks pretty sick. It's for anyone that's like actually into Final Fantasy 14, all of this gear is going to be using the same gear as the ninja class does, and they said that this class came about because people were asking for more dual-bladed sets like the ninja, because the ninja was the only one that was a dual-bladed class before, and they were like really short swords. So having one that's like two actual long swords,
yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
And then having them combined together to make a dual-bladed staff is also really cool. Like just a cool addition to it. It's a very flashy looking thing. Unfortunate thing, I think, is that it's a melee DPS class, and there's a lot of melee DPS classes in this game.
That's actually really cool. I'm one of my favorite melee classes in most video games is to have like the sort of dual wielding, but like not rogue dual wielding, but like big two fucking swords. That's how, yeah. This Viper class has seemed pretty cool. Maybe when it comes to Xbox, we might be on here. The boys might be on here.
You'll have to buy it. You can only use the Viper when you buy the Dawn Trail expansion. So you'll need to be fully committed and having bought the game to use it.
Yeah, right. Well, let's see. Like, the free expansion goes for like what 3? Like the base game plus 3 or 4 DLCs.
It goes up to Stormblood.
Yeah.
So that's that's free of the expansions.
Yeah.
Heavensward is where I think it starts getting good. Alexis says it's they really enjoyed Stormblood. I think Stormblood's kind of mid, but you get what you get out of it.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
and then it's the one directly after Stormblood that's amazing. Shadowbringers right after Stormblood is the pinnacle.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, yum. But alas, we'll have to wait. But that's it. That brings us to the bottom of the news hour. No more news. News has been cancelled. We've reported on all of it. And I think any fully hectic gamer questions this week, Saif? Or
no, not this week.
For Pat to come back.
Yeah, nothing this week.
Yeah,
best to wait for Patrick.
Yeah, he's always got funny takes and he can introduce it really better. He is, some might say, one of the hosts of the Fast Travel Lounge. Let's say like that. And that pretty much takes us to the end of Fast Travel Lounge. What do you got planned? More Spider-Man, Saif?
More Spider-Man, some Mario Wonder, another session of the Soul Hackers 2. where I get the true ending. Few things on the table. How about you,
people wanted to
Stephen?
Oh no, hang on, easy there. If people wanted to watch you play Soul Hackers 2, where would they send it to you? Where would they see you?
Yeah, it'll be at www.twitch.tv/Kai_Burr_Burr. That's CAI_BEHR.
Ah, very cool. As for me, what will I be doing? I got a Pokemon tournament on Friday, and then I started Yakuza 6. It'll probably be a while since I can talk about that. And it's something I've also been invited to, and technically I'm under NDA for that. I'll explain that when I do it. Yeah, Stephen being under NDA.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, you do love to see it. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of Fast Travel Lounge. May every game you save not crash. May all your crash logs be less than a couple of megabytes. And if you do want to interact with us online for whatever reason, if people still use social media, you can find us at Fast Travel Lounge pretty much everywhere except for Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. It's Fast Travel Lounge with only one L. Email, Facebook, Blue Sky, it's all Fast Travel Lounge at the appropriate places. You can probably even just Google Fast Travel Lounge. Probably comes up with us. And getting dangerously close to episode 100. So maybe spread the word. Maybe we'll do something big. Finally going to do a hot tub episode, Seth. I'd love to do one of those.
Yeah, sure. We just have to figure out the location. I suggest we just do it at the ACT so it's in the center of all of us. We all meet up in the middle.
I thought everyone was just going to be in a hot tub in their house.
No, that seems too luxury.
Luxury, even.
That involves getting a hot tub into my house.
Oh, I live on the 4th floor. How hard can it be? Just fill up your bathtub. I don't have a bathtub. I'm just going to fill up the shower.
Yeah, but I wanted jets. Actually, thinking about it, I don't have a bathtub either. I just have a shower.
Bathtubs are gross. What are you going to do? You sit in your dirty water? Gross. But anyway, with that thought of Stephen in your bathtub, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for listening. And we will see you next time on the Fast Travel Lounge.
Happy birthday to 19 inches of venom.